Just gonna see if I can improve my success rate here while I wait for people to join in, because today I'm going to be playing the viewers. We can play some casual games, and let's see how that goes. So here, I would really like to take this pawn and play d6, something like that. We can prevent all that by playing king c5, but probably this will lead to a draw, I guess. Maybe d6, king d4. Now I'm losing this pawn, and if I lose it for free, I lose the game, so I'd probably have to play e3. If they take it, I play f3. And I'm probably winning at that point, because they have to come back to try to take this pawn, and that allows my king to come in for the clutch assist, and that should be good. Now that being said, after king c5, they could play something besides d6, and maybe I'm missing something, some defensive resource that they have. For instance, maybe they could play h4 at a critical moment. If I play e3, pawn takes f3, I'm not winning, because they can play king d2. At least I'm not winning on the spot. I suspect it's lost though, because after king c5 they now have e4 protecting the pawn, and if I try to come around to take it, it doesn't matter. They're going to play h5 and then g5. That should win. So I think king c5 is the only move. I find it highly unlikely that I can play any other move. I have to take it. And now king e5 should be the winning move, going over here. Oh, not there, here, and then here. So just a quick double check, because I often make a mistake at the last second after doing the hard part. So going here, they probably have to go back to take this pawn. Then I just go here, and they can't play king e1 because I go here. And if they play e4 to try to come across, then I get king f4, as I just described. If I go here, I'm still in the square of these pawns, so that seems really good. I don't think they can play any waiting kind of moves. But if I play king d5, e4 check, king e5, king e3, I think I'm lost. So king e5 it is. Okay, now king f4 is what I was planning. I think that's still correct. Still stand by that. King f4, if they play king d4, I play f2 and win. Easy. Yeah, I think that's just it. Now here's a question. Should I take that pawn or not? Yeah, Shriram, I'm just waiting for people to join in so we can get some challenges going. So I was doing one puzzle while I wait. But yeah, this is a rated puzzle. I don't mind that. If I take this pawn, they have king e3. And I don't think that's winning anymore. Takes king e3. I play a move. Maybe I'll play f2. They take. They go back. They can play king g2, king e3, king g3. And that's not very promising. So I think I should throw in f2 or king g3. If I play f2, they have king e2. After king g3, they have king f1, and I lose. That's very sad. So probably king g3 first. e6, f2, king e2, king g2 is good. So they have to play e7. I make a queen with check. They cry bitter tears. So there it is. I'm promoting with check. All right. That was pretty good. That was a 2400 puzzle apparently, which is lower probably than all the other ones that I did so far in this problem set. Sure, if you want to play a game, to send me a casual challenge. As long as it's more than 3 minutes, I'm cool with it. So, whatever you guys want to do. I know there was one guy the other day who wanted to play me when I was in the middle of doing a problem set. I told him that I would stream on Thursday, which was yesterday, and it's the one day that I didn't stream. So I feel kind of bad about that. I hope they come back and get the game that they wanted. I had a lot of work. I was like in 2 different states all day, and it just didn't happen. No stream for me. Not that time. Okay, so this is funny. I could make a pass pawn, but there's issues over here. I could take this pawn, I guess, but that allows king c4, which would allow this pawn to run. So they'd have 1, 2, 3, 4 moves. The queen. But I could probably make them spend at least 1 move with their king. Because if at some point I could play king b6 to delay this pawn's promotion. For instance, if the pawn was on d6 already, I could play king d6. And if they play d7, I play king c7. So that would interfere with their plan potentially. But they also have a way to interfere with that. After I play king b6, they could play a5 check. If I take it, then I'm out of the square. The pawn again, they could play d7. So I'd probably have to play like king b7, but then the pawn can advance further. So that seems a little bit suspicious to me. And if I could play king c7, they could play b6. That's another deflection idea that they have. So maybe allowing king c4 is not so bad. I think is the takeaway from that sort of pseudo-analysis. I think if the king ends up on c4, excuse me, I will probably want to, well actually, I wouldn't say necessarily that I want to promote on this light square with a check, because this pawn is so close to their king. Like they could play king c4, I could do something to create a pass pawn, then they can just come right back. And when I create a pass pawn here, it really has to run. I don't have time to dilly-dicker around with that. Even if I could pass the h-pawn in this position, they're in the square of that. So I think I can safely rule out pretty much all of the pawn moves. Like if I go here, takes, g4, takes, they're well within the square. They could just play h5 and win the game. That's an example of how making a pass pawn doesn't seem to work yet. So I suppose I should begin with trying to take these pawns and push this one. I could take, I don't think they have any really disruptive moves here. Like for example, if they play g4, I can just take, and I don't even have to take it. I could also play h4. So, and same thing if they go here. Pretty confident I can play f4. Oh no, because they take. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I promote 4 first. But their king does get in the square, so maybe h4 is a real threat. h4, or I could just take it and allow them this opportunity, but they would be forsaking the queen side in the process. So I think h4 is probably not a big deal. I'll just take twice, and even though they can play their king to f4 now, I'm taking these 2 pawns and playing a5, and I'm still in the square of this pawn. So I'm cool with that. Oops. Convenient to get some small warm-up before I take challenges. Alright, I'll take that one. And I have to take that one. And I probably have to come back and stop this pawn. 1, 2, 3, and I'm good. But after a move like king b5, they could play king d4, for example. And now I have to do something useful for one move, because I don't have king c5 and king d6. And I don't have king c6 because the pawn is doing this. And there's no other way to go about this. Like, I can't wait one move, because when the pawn gets to d6, it's like really game over. So I can't try any fun paths to d8. It's not happening. I'm not doing this. These are all too slow. A little while ago, somebody was criticizing some of my uploads, which is of course allowed. I enjoy the discussion of things. And they were criticizing that I use geometric arguments. At least that's like what they said. They said, you seem to focus too much on the geometry of this. But I think that if you can see chess in a way that is simple, sometimes there's nothing wrong with using tools like checking the distance of one square to another square, or like checking different paths to do the same thing. I think it's just sometimes faster to figure it out. Like, I can rule out any of these extraneous moves. Of course, at the level where I'm solving these problems, that doesn't really even matter, but for people who are learning, probably it's helpful to show them that you don't need to always calculate out a variation necessarily. Sometimes you can just look at it and see, like, the king's not coming back here unless it goes to b5. So I think I can safely play this one. So king d4 has to be played, and they're trying to do this and push this d-pawn. So they have to do like 3 moves before they actually have a real threat. They have to go 1, 2, 3, and if they can get all 3 of them in, then they're playing d7, and my king would be too far away. If I play king c6 at some point, they would have to throw in an additional move, king e7. So they're kind of looking slow here. What this makes me want to do is create that pass pawn. I'm thinking about passing the g-pawn somehow. For instance, I could play h4, pawn takes h4, g4, and this pawn can't move, so I'm going to take it. If they take and play h5, I'm playing g3. h6, g2 is good, so they're not playing h6. They would bring their king back to e3. And my problem here is that their pawn on h5 is very close to promoting, and my pawn is not. So I don't think that really works, even if it's the right idea. If I play something simple like g4, they'll play h4. They shouldn't take twice, though. I'm sorry, they shouldn't take on g4. Like, if they take and I play f takes, I should be able to create a pass pawn that's pretty quick now, because they need to play a waiting move here, and the only move that makes sense is king e5. But once they play king e5, then I'm not so worried about playing h4, pawn takes h4, and g3. The king's out of the square. So that would be good, actually. And I should probably have like a Lichess profile command or something. I should probably add that at some point. So I think h4 is probably out, because if I take and take back, that's not really thrilling. I think king moves are ruled out, because if I play like king a6 or king b4 or whatever, they're playing d6 and getting a queen quite quickly. Maybe king a6, d6, king b7, king d5, and now I can break through on the queen side with h4. No, they're still in the square and everything. I don't know, I feel like I have to like lower their king forward somehow for this position. Unless I can just create this pass pawn. Like, you know, takes, they have to do something useful now. King e4 it is. King c5, and now if they take my pass pawn, I take their pass pawn. They'll take them a couple moves to win this h pawn, meanwhile I'm running. So that could be how I situate myself. f4, takes, king e4, king c5, king takes f4, king takes d5, king g5, b5, king h5, and then b4. That should be winning. So maybe it's f4, and if they push, I could trade and then play a waiting move, I think. Like g4. Or I could just play h4 right away, so you know they have the problem of figuring out what to do with this. For instance, f4, g4, you know, maybe I'll just take f4, g4, takes, f3, king e3, king c5, and it's the same situation as before, where black is winning. I'm pretty convinced. I think I should just take it. Because if I play g4 here, like, they're still in the square, so they could play patiently here, because now they have a new pass pawn. So I'm going to take this back. This is the only move, because I need to cover d6. And now they changed their mind. I think I can just push this and win. Like f3, d6, f2, d7, make a queen, they make a queen. And I've come to realize that in situations like this, it's important to calculate a little bit further instead of just being like queen endgame is a draw. Because I have a queen here, they have a queen here. Actually, I can maybe change that a little bit. So I'd play f3, d6, king c6, king e6. That could potentially mess things up for them because now when I promote, I can take this with check. That's probably how it goes. Either way, I think I want to push this. Okay, ended the puzzle here, so we could just look with the engine quickly. d6, king c6 is apparently not the only move, but it's like, it says -3, 7. The number itself doesn't matter, but it's like at least 2 ahead of f2, because in this variation, I get to take this with check, as advertised. And the 2 extra pawns should be good. Maybe that's like a kind of rule. Having 2 extra pawns is nice in the queen endgame, as long as they're not perpetuating you immediately. And if I play f2 right away, it says it's still much better. I actually would guess that this is some kind of difficult draw. I don't know. Like here it's suggesting queen e2 check, king f6, and then b5, and somehow you have to hide from the checks. It's probably doable, but I wouldn't think too hard about it. Somehow people have gotten this wrong. It looks like I should just take this. And it's probably not like a big deal. By the way, you guys can challenge me anytime, or just mention your username and I can send you a challenge, something like that. I'm just solving these puzzles to pass the time. This one's not been played very many times. 48. I'm trying to understand, like, what's the problem here? Like, I see a way that I could draw if that's really what I need to do here, but I don't think I do. Like, first of all, let's just pretend that I'm not thinking about pawn takes h4. Like, maybe we've already ruled that out somehow, and I'm just looking for alternative moves. If I play f5, they play h3, they're definitely winning. There's just no question. Because I can't step away without losing the f-pawn. There's no fortress because the g-pawn is weak. The h-pawn is protected and passed forever. So f5's out. King e3, king f5. Sorry, king e3, pawn takes g3. king e2, king f5, king f1, king f4, and then king g2 is a draw, because they have to step away from protecting the g pawn, and then I'm going to blockade that pawn with the king. That's an easy draw. Not necessarily so if it was on the 6th rank, but it's not, so don't care. So that's some kind of draw, right? But I don't see why it's necessary for me to think about drawing like that when I can take on h4. So maybe we're looking for a win. But after pawn takes h4, what do they even play? Like, this is absurd. Maybe they play g3. And after king f3, they play king f5. And after, I don't know, I'm really grasping here, because I can just take the pawn on g3. I was thinking that their idea might be to like sack the g pawn and then take the f pawn and then come back and block the h pawn, because that's a draw. Okay, so I think that's out. Pawn takes and then g3 and then king f3. It's easy. Easy to win. Yeah, I don't see anything here. So pawn takes. They play a king move, I guess, like king g6. I kind of want to go over and just take their pawn, so I might play like f5 check. They could play king h5. I don't really care. Because now I have king f4, king takes h4, f6, g3, f7, g2, f8 queen, g8 queen, then queen h8, checkmate. Queen h6 is also mate. I don't know. I just don't believe in black here at all. Like, how's this a puzzle? f5, king h5, king f4 looks winning. f5, king h5, king f4, g3, king takes g3. They can't take either of the pawns. Like, they're doing this. That's a wall. Maybe the problem is f5, king f6. Some kind of blockadey thing where they give up the g pawn. So maybe that's how they're going to do it. f5, king f6. Maybe I'll play like h5, g3. They're getting a queen pretty fast. Like g3, h6, g2, h7. They already have a queen. I would get a queen with check, though. Okay, so maybe it's worth considering. f5, king f6, h5, g3, h6, g2, h7, king, g7. No, it's not working. I was calculating this line. This is already too far for my king. So I was trying this, but then the king comes back in time. And now I'm losing. Thought about playing f6 check, but after king h7, f7, king g7, I'm just out of interesting things to do. Okay, so if I play like h5 directly, king h5, f5, that's not really working. So I could play a waiting move. Like if my king was on g3, I would win. Easy. So maybe I play like king e3, king f5, h5. king e3, g3, king f3, king f5, king g3. That makes sense. So king e3, king f5, h5, and if king h5, f5, I think king e3 it is. Unless king e5 wins on the spot, that might be important. King e5, they play g3, f5. No, after king f7 it's not working. So king e3, and then h5. All right, I got that one. So I think that's probably enough of a little warm up. I'm gonna play some different humans. Maybe I'll try the 5-0. I haven't been doing so great lately in Blitz, but that's okay. Okay, so now I have to play this. I don't know, in Blitz I always start feeling adventurous and just want to try different things. Alright, I'm gonna do this. I think this is fine. It's a bit of a funny Ratse bind. So far, I'm not really disappointed with my position. It seems okay. This feels right, somehow. This feels very proper. I think I should throw this in. And then, oh no, I shouldn't have done that. That messed up my plan, actually. I am pretty dumb. I was thinking, oh, I'll take this to mess up their pawn structure, and then I'll take here to play bishop f5, but I just traded that bishop. So that's the kind of stuff you only do in Blitz. Classic me. I actually hate this position now. That was ridiculous for me to do. Like, all that attacking stuff is now just gone. That was really dumb. Okay. Alright, maybe I'm justified suddenly. I feel like I'm playing so badly, but doesn't matter. It's the warm-up game. I always play really badly in the warm-up game. All right, just gonna try this. Playing a little shiesty now. I do not approve this message. Probably have to go stop that pawn. Probably gonna just take the draw here if I can. It is too low on time. Oops. It would help if I could click the chess pieces. Definitely gonna flag in this fine position. Oof, not good. That was stupid. Almost GM it. Am I actually an adult? What kind of question is that? If you want, you can challenge me and see if I'm an actual adult. I just don't know what that question means. That was a pretty bad game, though, because I had this idea brewing that I just kind of let go on my move. I don't know why. I got distracted there. Like, here I want to play knight e4. And this is just completely dead. But instead I played this move. And probably black's okay. No, white's just much better here. Who am I kidding? That was pretty bad, but it's okay. Things happen. So yeah, you guys... Oh, I have a challenge. Oh, okay. I'll abort this one and play Wombat Horse. Sorry to the other person. And good luck, Wombat Horse. I think I'll play this. Okay, I have options here. Are they serious options, though? No, I should play this. Might be getting my move order twisted here. It's good to answer e4 with e5 most of the time. a6 in this line. Yeah, a6 is the thing here. I think I probably want to play this move anyway, so I'll just throw it in. Excuse me. Alright, I'll play a6 and let's see what happens. That looks like a free piece. They'll have some compensation. Excuse me, but I feel pretty good about winning a piece. Let's see how spicy this becomes. It's just a blitz game. If this is some kind of like interesting idea, I look forward to understanding it. Yeah, it doesn't look like the follow-up of someone who gives a piece on purpose. Maybe g4, just lock the position. Wombat Horse tells me in the light chess chat that he just blundered. I don't mean to roast you. g4 might have been too ambitious, but I still feel pretty good about my position. I should probably just also develop my pieces somehow. This one seems right. Yeah, you can have that. It's fine. I was thinking about playing bishop c8 before, but this just made sense. Almost GM, I am just playing viewers. Casual games, something that's like more than 3 minutes would be nice. That way I can still like read the chat and everything at a reasonable pace. Excuse me. This might be a little bit like playing with fire, but I'm cool with that. I think it's alright. There. That is the kind of move that I want to see. So I can do this. And now I can take on g4 in different ways. Like, do I want to attack, or do I want to do something different? I also have queen d3. I think I'll just trade everything. Because I'm a piece up. And that's nice. Excuse me. This looks pretty reasonable. Yeah, I should probably defend my bishop. I didn't calculate this ahead of time. Like, I knew there was some idea, but I kind of missed that my rook was hanging at the end. So this will be it. Oh, this rook is hanging. There's some idea here to take this rook. B3's hanging. That'd be good if I could take it. I think I will. Now everything should come down. I accidentally played b4. I really didn't mean to. am I not managing? There we go. Alright, nice. Good game, Wombat Horse. Let's look at the beginning of this game. So, I wonder if I've ever had this position before. I don't remember. If I check for myself, yeah, I've never played this position. So bishop b7 was not badly timed. I was wondering if I should play bishop d6 first, but this happened. Looks like engine analysis is already coming in. b4's been played a lot here, but bishop d6 is fine. This position's good for black, so I think I probably conducted the opening okay. It says that a6 is a blunder. It makes sense that queen d6 should be played here. I don't know why I started thinking about a6. I know we were talking about it in the chat, but it doesn't make that much sense to play a6. I mean, it's like I want to play c5, but b5's hanging. But if I play this, I can just double on the d file, and that's like way more normal and good. But it looks like black is still like doing well either way. Anything else here that's interesting? Yeah, bishop g3 wasn't good. This is a simple move. These are the kinds of moves that I want to play that I usually don't. I usually just mess it up by making it unnecessarily complicated. Like here, after king h1, it's actually a little bit hard. Like, probably I shouldn't lose this knight, so I have to come back, and then my king's a little exposed. I need to coordinate my stuff. I'm still doing good, though, because I can bring the rook in somehow, and then get the other rook in, and I don't think I'll ever get checkmated here. But it was convenient that king g3 happened. Okay, maybe I'll play another 5-minute game. Acting like I've never seen d4 before. Hi, Uter Master. Welcome. This looks sort of Karo Conley. Except for this pawn. That's a little weird. Maybe I'll just develop my bishop. That looks pretty good. How are you doing, Uter Master? Okay, so now they're gonna play this line. That's interesting. So I take, they go here, I play like, I don't know, queen h7, rook g2. I kind of like my position here. But I could also play slow. I don't think I have to take the g-pawn and like make everything complicated. But I think it's complicated for them, not me. I feel pretty good about this. If this is something novel and interesting, I am surprised. Truly. This could get really funny really fast. It was tempting to not even protect that, honestly. Just say whatever. I'm doing alright, yeah. I had to slow down my prep for Biel because I have some work-related stuff going on that's very important, so I didn't do anything really yesterday. I mean, a little bit, but definitely I plan to do more tonight. And Oh, maybe I should have been a little more alert here. Yeah, you know, the prep's coming along. That's I guess what I'm saying. You know, it's happening, which is great. I like preparing for a tournament, and I'm looking forward to actually getting out there. I need to pack my bags early because I'm busy going in the weekend, so I'll be doing that probably tonight. Oh, Utermaster, I just noticed your chess question. Yeah, c5 is more thematic than c6. I think this is a pretty weird version of, you know, some otherwise maybe normal positions. I could probably just go ahead and take on f7. I sense no danger here, in the famous words of Patrick. That was probably a mouse slip. They probably meant rook f8. I just noticed that if I play like queen h5, they could play rook f4, bishop takes, queen takes c3, king e2, and maybe that would give them some complications to play with. But I don't see it really coming together now. Like, I could probably just take this h-pawn and come back, and everybody's safe and happy. That seems pretty good. I dare you to move any of your pieces. Black. How long does my work take on average? I guess you don't mean my chess work in this case. You mean like my work. Changes all the time, honestly. But it's like a full-time thing, you know. In fact, it's more than full-time because I'm still in the early stages where I have to do a lot of kind of extra work to earn the PhD, which involves publishing papers. And so probably if I already had like the kind of job that you get with a PhD, it wouldn't be as much. Like, it would be a 9 to 5, but right now it's basically like all day, all the time. Okay, what do I do here? Maybe play g3. I should focus and finish this game, because when I get low on time, I always play really badly. This is spicy. I like this. The queen side being blocked is probably more convenient for me than it is for them, if I had to guess. Bernard, I am not a GM, but I'm working on it. It's probably going to take a long time, but I'm cool with that. It's a nice extra thing to do in life. Okay, that bishop is looking quite trapped. That's what I get for being chatty. That's okay. What am I going to do with this? Maybe I'll go here. I kind of have to take that, I think. I don't care too much about this pawn, but I don't want it to be easy for them to improve their bishop either. These two minor pieces are just kind of garbage, but there are ways for them to make them better. So I have to act pretty quickly here, I imagine. Okay. I'm kind of about this situation now. Oh, they have 94 too. Okay. Getting a little low on time here. That's not great. Kind of derping pretty hard here, not keeping the good position together. I don't really care for this so much. Definitely not great. Excuse me. This is pretty awful, actually. Alright. That was kind of crappy. Yeah, I messed it up a lot here. I don't even want to look at it, really. But I'll definitely take this challenge. This is a kind of stupid line, but that doesn't mean I won't lose against it in Blitz. There's probably some tricky things here. Yeah, I think I luckily dodged a tricky thing just now. I shouldn't be getting lucky in situations like this, but that's okay. Sometimes that's just life. I would rather just have like good positions, you know, and play them well, but it doesn't always work out that way. No, not always. Yes, it's Wombat Horse. Thank you for the follow, DD Nomar 22. I think I can get away with this one. It looks a little complicated though. It might have been simpler for me to play a different move. Maybe something like Queen F4 was better. Hard to say. This I can deal with. I think I can take this for free. And there's a check. And maybe take this way for that extra spice. That pawn was pretty weak. I probably could have afforded to throw a move in there that's a little stronger. I don't have to make this complicated, but a pawn is a pawn. At least that's what they tell me. Just making life difficult for our friend Wombat Horse. Kind of running out of rook moves there. Wombat Horse is saying some funny stuff in the chat. Clearly a draw. Yes, I thought you would play King A1 going for stalemate. That seemed like a good idea. But no, no stalemate. Not this time. But I will not give stalemate, so it's okay. It doesn't really change anything. Looks like I have a challenge from Sakith. That's cool. Alright, good game. I think in the beginning of this one, probably I faltered. I'm taking casual challenges, Brun. We can definitely do one of those if you want. Just quickly. I think it's actually like Bishop E5 check first is what people do here. It's probably not a big deal, big difference. Bishop E3 I thought about, but I don't know. I guess Bishop E3 is it. I'm not sure why I really hesitated on this one. because if you do this, I could just take here, because there's a threat of knight c7, so I'm tactically guarding c5. Maybe that's a thing to remember for next time. Okay, taking Saket's challenge. Casual with increment. Okay, so this could be a little bit of a long game. I'll throw this one in. 2 can play this game with g3. What do I want to play against this today? Let's see what it becomes. Trying to remember. I had a new idea that I wanted to try, but this is a 3-minute game, so I should probably not get too academic about it, as I tend to do. That's an interesting choice. I wonder how I should try to use that. I thought white was going for e4, not this. Seems like a position that I want. Excuse me. Jeez. Probably had a smarter way to do that. Same kind of thing. This doesn't look too terrible. Might have been a little ambitious there on my part. Oh, I'm super low on time. I didn't even think about that. Not good. I'm just gonna take this. It's a good move, I think. Oof. Oh, I forgot there's increment. Jeez, I'm so bad today. What the heck? I thought I had no increment. That was stupid. Thanks for the follow, Ska. This is so bad. Let's just resign. I thought I had no increment, so I thought I was about to flag when I really wasn't. That sucks. Alright, good game. Yeah, feel free to share a chess composition. If you could just send a link for it, I could. I know Braun is like really waiting for me to play against them. I wasn't planning to play any rated games, but I'll take it just because it's next in the queue. Hello, Braun. Thank you for the challenge. I think it's fine to do this. It's going to be a good night for them. Maybe both of us. It is probably at some point sensible for me to castle. Things are looking difficult though, like their pieces are just going on good squares. Have to go here. I am a candidate master, Ska, that's right. Yeah, until recently I was actually like 23-2400, so this would have been like a more reasonable looking pairing. I don't know what happened lately, but it's fine. I can see this becoming quite difficult very soon. Yeah, you could basically pre-move that. Yeah, it's a dangerous move. I can't play king h8 obviously, so. I think I have to play knight e8 now and lose the h6 pawn, so this position's basically over. I think good play on their part. Interesting position. Knight e8, actually there's queen f7, not even queen h6. And queen h8 is happening. It looks very bad. I don't know what to do. I could lose gracefully with queen e7. Will Wolf, welcome. The Scandi man. That's funny. Yeah, I'm not trying to stall, I just don't know what to do. Maybe throw this in. Sorry for the delay in losing. This looks very, very bad. Maybe something like this. No, that's awful in many ways. I just don't have anything. I think queen g8 was actually even better. I missed that too. Queen g8 was winning. Okay. Yeah, good game. What happened here? I think I just don't know how to play this position. I don't think a6 is bad. That's like normal. Bishop f5 is... I think bishop g4 is the main move, but I figured it would all end up being quite similar. Like, here h3. I don't know, maybe I should have played bishop g4. I didn't feel spiteful when I checked, I just didn't know what to do. Needed a little more time. Yeah, this position's just probably equal, but I didn't know how to play it. So here I see in the database that a few people have played this with castling. Engine evaluation is, yeah, dead equal. But now h6, so probably h6 first isn't bad. Yeah, that's equal. g5 itself is also equal. Funny, it looks like knight h5 is the move that was bad. That makes sense, because later in the game, I had to bring the knight back under very unfavorable circumstances. So I think the combination of g5 and knight h5 is very poor here. That's probably what I should take away. Alright, good game though. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Ska has a study. Let me see if I can get it to show up properly. Looks like you have to sack your knight. Okay, maybe I could do this in the tactics scene. Okay, I'm gonna mess up this scene. I'll have to fix it later on. But let's see it. So this is our special position shared by Ska. And please ignore this weird little panel. Okay. A study, huh? Am I able to, I almost never use the board editor. I wonder if I can open an analysis board to play moves. Yeah, I think this works. Let me see. Ugh, of course, as soon as I changed it. Frustrating. Alright, give me 1 second to make this look better. Yeah, so this is one that was composed by Ska on Twitch. Give me 1 second, everyone. Just need to fix my mistakes. It appears I'm not very sharp today in multiple avenues. Okay. Have you guys been following the new New York Times chess column? I think Naroditsky might be the guy who's doing it. So if I just take this, this is not really doing anything. So I don't know, this looks kind of familiar to me. I probably have to sack here, if I had to guess, to push this one. But I need to also make sure the king is not able to get into this area. Did they have a chess column before? I see someone saying that they brought it back. I didn't know it was gone in the first place to come back. I thought it was just a new thing. Someone showed me a funny puzzle the other day that I was able to solve. It was, you have to just switch the position of 2 knights in an unusual chessboard. And I thought that was interesting because it wasn't really like a chess thing. It was more of like a math puzzle in chess disguise. It's fun to sometimes trick people into doing math. Anyway, not math. Never trick someone into doing math. That's not good. So, anyway, I want to sack this, but they could really move their king wherever, probably. I guess I want to put them in a situation where I'm threatening to take on this or this. So that, like, they don't have a side of the board to work with. Because if I just play something like this, you know, they could probably wait. I'm just gonna play moves here. Not even like really critical moves, and they could also go protect the pawn. But you know, if I ever do this and push, then this is equal for sure. So I need to put them in a situation where I'm threatening both. That way, also they can't play king d6 or king f6. Because those are like obvious ways. If I create one threat, they can protect that one threat. So I need to find a way of threatening both. Yes, I need a quantum superposition of knight moves or something. I think maybe the ideal place to be is e1. Idea is that I want to be able to threaten to do this. Actually, the fact that it takes 2 moves to do that makes me wonder. Or maybe I have to just win all the pawns. Maybe I should be a little more ambitious here. Okay, here's something I like. Bring the knight here with the king here, so that when they take it, I take with the king, and now I'm in a winning king and pawn on game. It doesn't matter where their stuff is, because I'm going to play g5, takes, and bring my king over and take all these pawns. So probably I'll do something like this. Yeah, they're always going to be in the square of this pawn, so they can stay like right here. Well, with this one I don't have a breakthrough, so I do need it to be here. Okay, I should be a little smarter about this. So I want to put the knight here. It has to come from here. And to get there, it has to come from one of these squares. And those both need to come from c2. Which comes from a3. And the way to get to a3 is... Okay. So first I'm going to bring the knight to a3. I need to actually put this knight on g3 to do that. No, I can do this. I'm like so brain dead. I keep like getting zaps where I'm like thinking about something and I just forget completely what I was thinking about. Right, I need this knight on a3. I could improve the move order, like it doesn't matter. Now, I need to test this critical line where they take this. I don't know, this also looks like a draw. So maybe g3 is not it. Maybe it's h4, but like I guess from g2. Alright, I need to think a little bit more, because I need to use this square and this square. And I don't think I can really use any other square. Because whenever I take, first of all, these pawns are useless. If I take this one, or this one, I'm not able to win with my new pass pawn. Let's start with this move, just keep things clean here. Yeah, don't tell me where the knight goes, I don't need that. I feel like this is also not something that you composed. I feel like I've seen this before. At the very least, like the patterns similar, or I mean the theme is similar. Like people have been making tons of studies like this for like forever. I feel like I just can't think right now. I could probably bring the knight to g3. No, I still have that problem where they can take it and then I can't play f4. As a unique motif. Okay, interesting. Unique solution, I don't doubt. Does the quote command not work for you guys? Because I don't see it coming back. Should probably try to fix that at some point. I want on either a3 or h4. Possibly both. Yeah, the 244% Fort Minor song. I think I'm just so tired. I tried to sleep before I streamed because I haven't slept in a while. Like, not enough anyway. It didn't really work. I think I'm suffering from the sleep deprivation. I'm just like not able to focus. So I'll probably turn in like after this puzzle, but I do want to try to get it. So if I bring the knight to like h1, which I can accomplish like this without stepping on any weird squares, it goes to h1. I can bring it to g3, but then they can just take it, and I take with the king, and nothing seems to happen. I don't think that I can let them take it and then play f4, and then let them take that and then play e5 or g. I imagine they won't let me play g5. That just doesn't seem like a recipe for success. Even if I could get their king away from it, like even if I could get them to put their king over here and then play e5 and then king e4 somehow, then they're gonna play f3, king takes f3, and then like they'll get their king to take this pawn. They should always be able to arrange that situation, and then it should be a draw. Because I can't triangulate. They have plenty of room to control the entry points. So forgetting about this knight h1 and then going to g3, because I don't think there's any purpose behind knight h1 except to go to g3. Focusing on this one, I need to come from one of these squares. Probably. This one I can get to like this, but I would have to go through g2, and to get to g2 I would have to successfully get to h4 or e3 or something, and I don't think that makes sense either. Like if my knight's here and they just take it in any way, I'm not breaking through. It's a similar problem. So, jeez. So I think I would need to get to a3 through this kind of pathway. But then it's not happening. It's just, there's no legal way, really, for that to occur. So maybe not going to a3. So forget about that. Welcome back, Eater Master. I think I've seen this puzzle before, I just don't remember how to solve this. Do you know the answer, Eater Master? Oh no, I'm just asking if you've seen it, not the solution. Little Wolf, that's funny. I haven't seen any chess puzzles on YouTube, so I haven't really seen it there. I've probably seen it in like a study book or something. The only really distinct points of entry are these. I just don't know how I would follow up. Like, first of all, getting to them is difficult. Like, I found a way to get to g3, but it doesn't work. I haven't found a way to get to h4. So the situation that I'm envisioning here is like this, and I want to go here and then take this, but when they take it, I don't have a follow-up that I've really noticed. I don't think passing any of these pawns is helpful. Like, really, I think all these pawns are not useful. Oh, you write for British Chess Magazine? That's interesting. I don't know why this is so difficult. Victorian Chess Puzzles, is that a channel? I feel like I should be able to come up with like what square this knight belongs on my own, but I don't know. I'm really missing it here. Like if I put the knight on c3, they're gonna play d takes c3, and if I play d4, then I can pass the c or the e pawn, but they're not really doing anything. So I think at this point I need to consider sacking the knight on one of these squares. Because if I put my knight here and they take it, I could push past somehow. Put the b pawn. I don't know. Maybe I should consider taking something along the way. Like, I could get this structure, like, I could take like that. But, I don't know, I kind of assessed all of these captures as not useful. Like, I could take this, and then I have a pass c-pawn, woohoo. Like, they'll block that forever. Or pass the e-pawn, it's the same. I could take this one, but none of that seems really useful. Yeah, this is kind of perplexing for me. I used to be good at things like this. Or at least I remember being good at things like this. I used to like making studies and solving studies. I haven't done it a lot though. Although I do have the Dvoretsky Practical Endgame book on Chessable. I sometimes open that up and I'll do a study, but usually they're just like really, really hard. And with the time limit on Chessable the way it is, it's like, I don't know. No, I don't admit defeat. Probably today's not a good day for me to do this though, just because I'm like really brain dead from work and everything. I'm still thinking it over though. If you play it out, it makes a lot more sense. You shouldn't really play out puzzles like this though, right? Yeah, it's really funny how all of you guys have done this puzzle and I haven't. It's almost unfair. Yeah, if I do something like this, it's kind of just doesn't make sense to me, you know. I have no entry point that I can really see. If I sack this differently, you know, like if they let me even, this also doesn't look useful. It's quite similar. Also similar. And if I sack this one, at least this I can get by force, I think, right? Like they go, no, they can defend that in 2 moves. But like if I do this, it's all the same. Like this all just doesn't look right to me. One thing that would be nice, I guess, would be if I could do this. But there's just no guarantee of that as far as I can tell, because even if like they play nice with me, sorry, I'm just reordering my variations here. Like when I finally go for G5, I can't go further. And they are threatening to go and win that, and then they would likely win the game. So there's no like sacking and then maneuvering later. And if I take longer anyway, they could prevent it. They could bring the king to f6. Maybe we should think more about, like, making an entry for the king, somehow. I haven't really thought about that, though, because, like, for example, I could do this, and now my king can enter, but as soon as I go here, then they play c2. That doesn't work. It'd be nice if I could get them to take like this or like this, and then take back with the king, because then I think I'm winning. Hey Shy, thanks for dropping in. Yeah, I wonder why the Twitch stream quality sounds better than YouTube. Or something. D. Brian on YouTube. King on h3, knight on h4 is my first thought. I just don't know how to get a knight on h4. Maybe I've like stupidly overlooked something, but to get to h4, I have to come through g2. To get to g2, I have to come through e1, because I've already ruled out knight e3. To get to e1, I have to go through c2, and to get to c2, I have to go through a1. But there's no way to get to a1 except through c3. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, eventually c3, but like there's just no way to get there. And I can't sack my knight to get room for my knight. Scott, no one has told me I look like a young Gene Wilder. People have only told me that I look like actual Gene Wilder. Like, if I don't have my hair back, completely Gene Wilder. Like Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, Gene Wilder. You know? It's like that meme where he's like, really tell me more about your... that kind of thing. Definitely like the same. I once did an ironic audition for a Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. They're putting on the new one where they basically make Willy Wonka like Michael Jackson. So I did my audition like in the style of Gene Wilder, and like the people who were auditioning hadn't even seen the old one, so they're like, "What is going on? Like, why is this guy such a bad actor?" It was a very successful troll. I really enjoyed that. So, I don't admit defeat, but I do admit that this is taking a long time. Feels kind of dumb if I'm like not able to do this. When's the next Saturday at Highland Coffees? Good question. I don't know when, but for me it'll probably be at least 3 weeks from now, because I am going to Switzerland to play in the Biel tournament on Monday. I'm leaving then and starting like a little while later. Hopefully I'll do well and have something to even tell you guys about. I think that would be really nice if I could have a good tournament in Biel. I've never played in Switzerland, and you know, I hear the conditions are very, very nice, and sometimes I feel like the conditions are getting in the way of my progress in the US. One event is not a lot to get accustomed to that, and you know, like utilize the differences, because it'll be some learning experience. But I think that having one tournament in Europe is a good precursor, and thank you for the luck wishes. I think it's a good precursor to me doing more, like maybe I'll do a tour in Spain when I'm doing really well. I have no idea who that person is, Ska. I imagine that's a joke, but I just don't know famous people. it's not on a map. It doesn't look that far from Interlaken. That's a pretty famous area. People seem to like. I might see if I can swing by. Who knows? I have to work on my dissertation while I'm there, though, so it's not going to be like I can totally focus on chess. I think that's not going to be the case until I'm like old and retired. I was contemplating for a second trolling, like I don't know who Justin Timberlake is, Ska, but I can't pretend that I don't know who that is. I don't know anything about him, but I know who he is. Anyway, I don't know if I could make any like good guesses here. It's just like, so at the very least, I should probably play this as a first move, knight c1, because I don't think this is going anywhere. Like, it's just nothing. If I go here, they could take like this, and this goes nowhere. If I had two knights, I could maybe sack my way through, but I don't have two knights. So probably it's gonna go like this. I probably have to play this. The king moves that they're making are just, you know, symbolic. Yeah, probably streaming is not conducive to me concentrating to solve the puzzle. But I feel like it's very dull if I am just like staring very hard at the screen while I'm streaming. I don't know what to even concentrate on. As if I had good focus today to begin with. Like if I go over here, for example, I could take this pawn, but I don't really see the use in doing it. Like, do whatever. My king could be somewhere else, it doesn't matter, but they would get this situation. And this is a draw. I need a second weakness if I want to win this. I really need to somehow invade to these light squares. It's just very difficult to maneuver to them. Oh, you know what? I'm dumb. I should put the knight on a4. I think this is actually much easier than I was making it out to be. Let me see. Let's just play some example moves here. It's frustrating. This is like not so big of a deal. Yeah, I need to fix that quote command somehow. I don't know how to do it. This was very frustrating. I think that this should be the answer, like to get the knight on a4. Where did I put that variation? Is that still showing up okay for you guys? Yeah. It's just a sample line. Like, I don't think it matters. I mean, I'll double check it, but I need to find my line first. I don't know why I'm like getting cross-eyed here. Okay, finally I found it. Alrighty. Yeah, obviously they're gonna play this, but then I could always pass the turn if I want to. But all these earlier moves are like not important either, right? Like, it just doesn't matter. Try against engine. Is that a thing? Where is that? Where do you try against engine? I don't know, but once I have this knight on a4, I'm like pretty confident this should be it. You know, like their king is gonna be on someplace. Like, they could play this, but then I can pass the turn, right? Like, eventually I'm going to get in. It doesn't matter. Yeah, let me check if this position's winning. I think this is fine. Yeah, this is winning. Alright, so this is the original FEN. And Utermaster says go to board editor, paste FEN, click play against computer. I don't have that button here. I'm pretty sure I was in... Oh, this isn't board editor anymore. That's why. Got it. Where... Does it continue from here first? Yeah, play with the computer. I'm playing white. Oh, I played the wrong king move. No, it doesn't matter. It's taking so long to move. Probably trapping my knight here, actually. And not in the way I wanted to. Playing kind of carelessly. Yeah, I messed up this one already. So I should have been a little more careful. Alright, whatever. When's it gonna take the draw? Alright. Let's try this again. It's the solution, though. I don't think Ben Feingold would ever smash a hole in a computer. This is a tedious part. Alright, so it seems kind of obvious that I can't try anything like knight c8, because after knight c8, king d7, I have to go back, and then I don't have any other interesting things to try. Or also go to a7, and after king c7, they're guarding all the entry points. After knight b5, then king c6, I can only go back to a7. That sucks. So there's no point in trying something tricky like that, because it's the same thing. They can control the entry points with the knight. So the only move that really makes any sense here is knight d5. Unless for some reason I want to pass the turn to them first and then play knight d5. Now here I'm sort of envisioning a Zugzwang situation where they want to stop me from going to the queen side and winning the pawns like this. Like they can't go too far to the king side. But they also don't want to go too far to the queen side, because I can go and take this pawn or this pawn. Like this. So I could probably force them to play king f7, because those are the entry points on the king side. I'm not really considering knight c7 or knight b6. Knight b6 because I was just there, and knight c7 because after king d7, my analysis that I just mentioned is true. So I probably have to play a king move. I don't know if it matters what king move I play. I have to play king f7. Now here, if I try knight c7, they have king e7, knight a6, king d6, and they protect these pawns. So I'm wondering about knight b6 or something like that. Right now the king is in the square of every single pawn. So I can't sack anything like that. I think the optimal place for my king is h3, so I could do that real quick just to pass the time. I don't see any reason not to bring the king over here. I really don't see anything with like bringing the knight to b5, for example. Maybe I want to put it on a3 and come back. Okay, so actually it was stupid for me to bring my king. I need to bring it over here first. see. Stalemate, woo, yeah. Trying to remember how to do this. Shouldn't allow king there, so I'll do this. I have the answer already, so I'm just kind of messing around now. I had mate in 2 a few moves ago? Seriously? No way. Did I really? Oh, with the rook I did. Yeah, but now I'm kind of messing around with the knight and the bishop, right? I don't think I have mate in 2 here. Because this is the wrong corner. Could it be? No, I'm pretty sure there's no mate in 2 here. Pepalo, thank you for the raid with 23 people. It's a substantial raid. Thank you for the follow. Joanna tries. I am just at the tail end of messing up a study by fooling around. In case you guys want to see what happened right before this. We were doing this study. This is a long time ago now. I never saw this, but apparently everyone in my chat has watched this. So, like, first I solved this after, like, way too much labor. It took me forever just to even notice I should put my knight on a4. And then, I moved my king a million times to eventually get the solution. And then I started promoting to silly stuff, and now I'm practicing this knight and bishop mate for no reason. So, that's where we're at right now. Doing it for the lulz. Trojan horse puzzle? Oh, okay. I feel like that should be the name of like the theme. There's a lot of puzzles that are like this, right? It's like you have one piece and you have to somehow get it in or sacrifice it in the right spot, that kind of thing. I am not having a ton of success right now, so I'm going to start making moves while I talk to you guys. Yeah, I'm familiar with the Greek myth about the Trojan horse, but there's something that puzzles me about that myth. So allegedly, the Trojan horse situation occurred during the Trojan War, right? And the two main books because it was an oral tradition, are the Iliad and the Odyssey, right? But the Trojan horse situation is not in the Iliad or the Odyssey. It's in between the two, because the Trojan horse thing happens, the war ends, and then Odysseus tries to go home, but he messed everything up, right? But the Iliad ends when there's the funeral for what's his name, Hector. I think for Hector. So somewhere in the middle there's like this whole very famous myth that's probably even more famous in some circles than the Odyssey and the Iliad themselves. So I'm like, what? Where is this myth actually written down? Yeah, Trojan horse definitely happens before the Odyssey, because the reason the Odyssey happens is he's leaving after the Trojan War. Yeah, I don't do Ultra Bullet and stuff. I do stuff that I like. Okay, maybe this. Oh, I should have done something slightly different. I think I do this now. And stalemate, of course. Alright, so. Scott says that he and Naka have the bishop and knight endgame problems in common. I think I've seen him do it before, right? I don't really watch his channel, but like I'm sure he's done it on stream many times, hasn't he? Okay, let me switch and play like 5+0. Oh, it became a meme. That sucks, because like we know he's a good player. Oh, I've played this person twice with bad results. Probably flagging both times, honestly. Yeah, Pirts. Yuck. It's tempting to go ham with just f4. I'm not sure that it really works. Anyway, I feel some obligation to do it. It's a blitz game. Let's see if it works. And I was anticipating just playing bishop f3. Really, that's all just me wasting time, so I'll just go for it. I think it's funny how some people say perk. Like, that's the most obvious way to say this opening's name, but not how you say it. And the only thing that's funnier than people saying Pierce is people actually saying it the way that it's pronounced. Because then you have the invariable situation where someone doesn't know that it's Pierce, and then they're like, wait, what do you mean? That's kind of funny for some reason to me. I feel like this should be good for me. Eatermaster asked me earlier what the point is of the Monster Chest variant. Have any of you guys played that before? Thanks, Scott. I don't know if I like picked up Monster Chest somewhere or if it was something that was in my imagination all along or what. So I'm curious if it's like part of anyone else's chess experience. Hey Gaius, 3 a.m. from a party. Nice. I went out last night myself. I'm pretty slow at the moment. Not liking that. Lucas Purcell, thank you for the follow. Play some C4 for you? Okay, I'll try to get a couple more games in. I'm feeling pretty tired, so I was gonna stop, but since you requested C4 it is. That's what we got. I don't know why I've played Fifth of Crowns so many freaking times. Like I'm clowning now. Foolish of me to play this way. I don't like how I played this game. I always manage to muck it up. I should have played King H2 anyway. don't really want to play this, but I will. I should have played king h1. Kind of dumb. That was pretty dumb of me. I don't like this at all. Stupid. The whole thing's stupid. This is ridiculous. Okay. I guess I just resign. That sucks. Yeah, we've got a few fun setups for the c4. This game sucked. Like, I haven't been playing that well today in general. Even solving the puzzle, I just like was brain dead. Like, this position's probably completely fine. I managed to screw it up. I don't know. I feel like I need a change of perspective or something. I've been working a lot. I feel like a lot of the time the improvement happens when you stop trying so hard. Like everything kind of settles in. What were we saying? A setup with knight c3 and e4. Yeah, let's try that. Let's make it spicy. You might even ask, why is it spicy? That's a good question. Let's see. Can I get away with something like f5? Probably not this early. I imagine if I play... okay, I don't see anything wrong with letting them trade their bishop, because light squares are for me. Now I could get f5 with tempo. I still think it might be too early. Okay, I develop my pieces. Alright, if I play bishop g2, knight d4, do I really even care? I could play queen a4 check, probably. Bishop d7. I guess I just really want that knight on d4. But you know what? I'm not even mad. I think I'm gonna just allow all that. This could be my inexperience with English showing, but I feel okay with all that. Like, trade if you want. I don't care. I really don't. I don't. Simply don't care. Also, thanks to Ska for sharing that puzzle earlier. That was an interesting thing. I'm glad that I did it. I haven't solved problems like that very much in a while. And it's definitely something that I like. They're thinking for a while, but I'm also like playing very slowly, so who can blame them? Yeah, I have good control of several key squares. I think I'm not too worried about like attacking on the wing. I think I'm going to get everything I want with this structure. Maybe if they were happy with their position, they'd play faster. Because it looks kind of hard to like guard everything. Their light squares are kind of weak. Always has been. His dark squares aren't strong either. Like I could probably bully D6 in some universe. Did you guys hear me crack my back? That was very intense. I sat up and was like... But probably my microphone filtered it out. Back cracking ASMR chess game. Watch out. It's gonna be the next video. This person's mom probably called for dinner. Meanwhile, me, an adult. No one's calling me for dinner. When you're 10 minutes late for dinner, that's dedication to the game, okay? All the parents out there who criticize their kids, they need to win that last blitz game. It's important for their development. They say that your prefrontal cortex keeps going until you're 25, okay? So they can be late for dinner until they're 26. After that, it's hard work and dedication. Uh-oh. I'm getting a call, so I probably have to wrap up after this game. But at least I got one C4 game in. Is my stream frozen? Oh, okay. It's good now. Wow, this is taking forever. So their parents really did call them for dinner. Or maybe they fell off their chair and they can't get up, something like that. It's a Life Alert commercial. Oh, okay. The big calculation. This is what we got. I think I'll just castle. Like, I don't care. It's all good. Or maybe I'll play F3 just to highlight the failure of their concept. It's over for you. Oh, now I have the bishop pair. It just gets better and better. Maybe just preserve that bishop pair. Okay. Got a badass over here playing g5. Curiouser and curiouser. And they castle into this. Okay. Interesting. I can take on f7. I can play rook f2. Let's see. Which of these is better? I could play rook a4. I'm sorry, queen a4. And rook b1. That looks pretty convincing. Oh, they have knight c6, but I don't think I care. I think this is good. Maybe this one first. Hold on, let me throw this thing on. Yeah, I think that one looks good. And there's certainly time lacking. I could take and then play rook b1 and then see what happens, but that's probably a little too much. They probably forgot they can't take that bishop. They'll probably resign now. Yep, there we go. Okay. That was a good game for me. I guess they got into trouble opening wise. Yeah, this has never been played. There's probably a reason for that. I want to find the reason for that and then sign off because someone needs me. Yeah, let's see what happens after f4 here. So e takes f4, knight h3 is the best. That doesn't shock me. I would probably play that. I didn't think h6 was like critical. I figured they'd do something like g6. And this is equal. Get my outpost square. d6, white's better. Why is h6 even the move here? I don't know, maybe I hit on something kind of nice for this position. Even this, like, engine says equal. Equal is equal, and this, I guess it's fresh territory on move 4. That's funny. Well, if this ends up being good, remember, this is the Coach Robert variation, right? We name things after ourselves, right? We have egos to support. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up here, and I really appreciate you guys coming in and sharing this chess with me, even if I was kind of very slow and slothly most of the time. Anyway, I'll catch you all later, and hopefully I'll be able to share some cool things from Switzerland when I head out on Monday. Take care. Enjoy your chess.